Technique Tuesday. Okay, so I have to tell you guys, I am so excited about this week's episode. So this week, I am going to teach you how to make a flip-flop card. Okay, so it looks like your flip-flops that you wear because you know what? Summer is right around the corner. And in North Idaho, that's a really big deal because that big yellow orb that you call the sun, that comes out and we all get to come out of hibernation. So I'm gonna put these aside and save those for later, but today we're gonna make one for the dudes. So let me tell you what inspired me for this idea. So a couple weeks ago, I got new socks, right? And so you can see here, they're like the little Heidi kind that go inside your tennis shoes. And they each come wrapped in one of these little cardboard things. And I thought, oh, flip-flop cards, so exciting. So I kept all of them because I keep telling you guys we don't throw anything away. So I think I have like 10 of them because I got 10 pairs of socks. But I'm gonna show you what you can do with this to make a card out of it, okay? So I've got all of my pieces already cut, so I will tell you all of the directions. So while I'm fighting here with the plastic bag, you guys go get a pencil and I'll tell you what you need, okay? So first off, for your base, and you can rewind it, is you're gonna need a piece of cardstock that is 7.5 by 9, okay? Because that is the longest part of your flip-flop is the 9, and then the 7.5, because we're gonna fold it, and the toe part, oh, I kept 2 of them, cool. Okay, so the toe part, the widest part on the toe here is about 3 3/4 inches, okay? So that's why you're gonna need that. And then you're just gonna score it and or fold it in half, okay? And then for your piece of designer series paper, this is going to need to be 3 3/4 by 9, all right? And then that's really it. And then I'm gonna show you the ribbon. Oh, and you'll need 2 pieces of ribbon or 2 pieces of paper that are about 1/2 inch by 4. And that's really it. And then a circle punch. And I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do with that because we're gonna hide some stuff with that. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I only need one of these, so I'm gonna toss that aside. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna put this down over the top, just like so. Then you're gonna take a pencil and you wanna make sure it's up against the fold. So let me hold this up so you guys can see. It's right against the fold because that's how it's gonna fold open, all right? Then we're gonna take our pencil and we're just gonna go around. And a lot of people like the mechanical pencils. I don't. They're too sharp for me and I just don't like them. So I just use the old school number 2 pencil or whatever you got laying around. You can use a pen, but I don't like to use pen because I don't write very well sometimes and I make lots of mistakes. So then you're just gonna cut it. This is super thick cardstock. So I use super thick because I have lots of 12 by 12 cardstock and I was being cheap and so I wanna use that up. So we're just gonna cut around just like so. But you can use any kind of cardstock, it doesn't really matter. With the 12 by 12, I can get a little bit more bang for my buck with that. So that's why I use such a big piece. And then we're just gonna follow it. And what's nice when you use a pencil is if you have any leftover residue, all you have to do is erase it. And it just makes it so easy. Okay, so there we go. There's our base, ta-da! What kind of sorcery is that? Okay. And I missed my trash can, it fell on the floor. So then I'm just gonna erase a little bit of this, but that really doesn't matter because we're gonna put the cardstock over it. And since I'm using a stripe, I'm gonna make sure that I have this straight up and down here. And then we're gonna glue the stripe right over it, just like so. And I'm using the new paper. It is the Relaxing Waterside DSP, okay? I was trying to get out the new stuff to show you guys. All right. So we're just gonna glue this down like so. There's all kinds of ideas on Pinterest. I even looked up a few because it's been a minute. I've made these before, but I think it's been probably about 5 or 6 years. And, but there's no need to buy any die cuts. And actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna post a template for you guys in the comments. I'm gonna have my husband make me up a PDF. So we've already talked about it. So what I'm gonna do now is I wanna make sure this is straight up and down. Now, it doesn't really matter if your stuff is printed or is like a print, like a floral print, because that doesn't have to be straight up and down. But when you're using a stripe, and like I did with the one that had the waves, you want to make sure it's going in the correct direction and that it's kind of straight and even. And then all you do after you get this down is you're just going to cut around it, okay? So I'm just going to take the scissors back out. And you might want to use the little scissors for some of it, but the big scissors cut it pretty fast. I did use the little scissors the first time, but it seemed like the bigger ones worked a little bit better. Then if you can't see it like I can't, then you just have to, you can open it up as well. And I'm just gonna cut that little piece off there. Oops, there we go. Now if I look down, I saw a little white thing come in here. I think Jake came in to say hello. He's been chasing my paper, silly kid. I put these pieces of paper in the trash can and he's like, woohoo. All right, so now I'm gonna open it just like so. All right, we're making cards for the dudes. I'm so excited. Usually we always make girly stuff. It's sometimes hard for me to think in man style because of the colors, but I do like making cards for men. All right. And sorry, this is taking me so long. Seemed a lot faster when I wasn't videotaping it. All right, so I'm just gonna push that aside. And there we go. See, now we've got our base. It looks fine. And if you have some imperfections, all you have to do, take a nail file, old nail file, and just go doot, 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 and that'll get all of your little weirdness off, okay? So now we're gonna place the string, or the ribbon. So you're gonna get some giant glue dots, and you're gonna take one of these biggies here. Hopefully I can peel it off correctly. No, that got kind of boogered. Okay, you wanna make sure that you can really get that glue dot to lay flat. So sometimes it's a trick to peel it off. I'll just stick it on my finger here. All right, so then I'm gonna put it here in the center, just like this. And you can kind of just eye it of where you're gonna put it. And then you're gonna take this piece of ribbon here and I'm gonna put it down. And then to get that little effect, you're gonna put a glue dot, another one, a small one, on the outside, just like this, right here. And then you're just gonna kind of bring it back in and we're gonna do it just like that. That way it kind of looks just like your flip-flops. See, isn't that fun? Oh my gosh, and this is so easy. Okay, so now we're just gonna eye it here. Same thing, I'm gonna put it right here. Okay. And did I lose my fish? No, there he is. Okay, and then, same thing, we're gonna take another glue dot, put it here, and then we're just gonna fold it in to get the other little strap. Okay, now, these are a little bit unsightly. So all I did was I took, this is a 3/4 of an inch circle. It's an old punch. This is so old, I can't even remember when I bought it from Stampin' Up. Probably when my son was a baby. But all I'm gonna do is, you see this stripe here? I'm just gonna punch a couple of these, just like so. And, okay, and I'm gonna make sure that the stripe is going the same direction. That's kind of important with directional paper. You're just gonna take a glue dot. Oh, I forgot my tweezers, my favorite tool. That's okay. Then we're just gonna make sure that it's going the same direction. We're gonna put it over that, and we're gonna hide that. And then, you know, when you get those flip-flops, they've got that little part that's plastic that holds in the strap. That's exactly what you're doing. You're just making up one of those. And then that way it hides your ribbon parts. Okay, let's see. I don't have my, like I said, I don't have my tweezers. Usually I carry those around. Okay, there we go. Now we're gonna hide this right here. And I already cut out my fish because we're gonna put the fish here. So, all right, let's hear it for the dudes so they get some of their flip-flops. I'm just gonna put some dimensionals on there. And you wanna put enough dimensionals kind of to hide your ribbon and to hide that glue dot. And you really want to make sure everything's popped up nicely. But this is just a fun, easy summery card, since we're getting into that time of the year. And then we're just gonna put it here, and it hides all that stuff. So how fun is that? Okay, now we're gonna do the greeting. So I already did the greeting. I already stamped it. It says, relax, today is your day. And then I'm gonna show you guys like a hack to mat it with the same size paper and the same feel here. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this in half. Okay, just like so. I'm gonna move this out of the way. And then we're gonna put a little bit of glue here, right here on this edge. And then all we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of hold on to this here, and we're gonna slide it on down, and you're gonna see a little bit of it sticking up on each side. Okay, see that? And then we're just gonna repeat it for the other side. And it looks like mine might be a little bit crooked. Let me just, I love the glue, it's more forgiving. Okay, so now we're just gonna flip it. Oops. And we're gonna do the same thing. And that just gives it just a little bit of a nice finish, like so. Oh, that one's a little crooked. There we go. See, and it looks like it's matted, but we cheated, sort of. It's a little bit wide on the bottom, but that's fine. All right, so now we're just gonna put some dimensionals on that, and I'm gonna put them right here in the center, because I want to hold that part that I glued just to give it a little bit more stick-em so that it doesn't go anywhere. So, and then we're just going to put our greeting on there, and then we'll do a little stamping on the inside, and then we'll be all done. And then I'll go over all the other ones that I made so you guys can see what kind of fun stuff we can make for summer. So it says, relax, it's your day. Just like so. Do I have a black pad in here? I do. I should have brought in the green. All right, well, we're gonna stamp some of this fun stuff from this stamp set. So this is that relaxing Waterside stamp set. And there's all those cute, nice greetings for dudes or for ladies, you know, for the chair and all that fun stuff. So, and here's a chair I stamped that I stuck back in there. Now remember, if you have extra stuff that you guys stamped, throw it in the stamp set, and then you'll be surprised when you open it. It's like Christmas. So I'm grab my block here, and I'm just gonna put a few of these little, I don't know what they are. They grow up at the lake. Lake grass. I'll just put a few of these down here. Kind of give it that summer feel. There we go. And then let me grab a black pad from over here. So I have to reach across the room. And I want to put one of those birds flying over it. I'm just going to stamp him in black. There we go. And then we need a greeting. I have to get this off. I forgot to bring in my cleaner. And then we'll put on here, how about Happy Father's Day? We'll put that on the inside. All right. So here we go. All right, there you go, guys. We got a flip-flop for the dudes. You gotta love it. You know, I have a friend, Gabe, who lives in his flip-flops. So I think the only time he wears real shoes is when he goes to work. So anyway, here you go. Here's what I made. So here's another one that I made using that same suite. And I used that wave paper and just cut out one of the fish from the fish paper. And then just it says, have a great birthday. This is relax, it's your day. Same thing. And I did the same exact thing with the straps. And then this one I have all my little cheat sheets here. I used the Cute as a Bug DSP. This ribbon I had in my ribbon stash. I don't even know how long I've had it. It's so old. But I used the Cute as a Bug DSP, and I used the Hello Ladybug stamp set. And for the greeting, I used the Beach Time stamp set. And I'm gonna show that to you guys. So since we're heading into summer, this is a great beach sayings stamp set. I love this. And this is on the Last Chance products list. So make sure that if you do like this, that you do grab it, okay? So here's another one, and I have my other cheat sheet here. This one I made with my daisy punches that I've had forever. They're really old Stampin' Up! Punches. This is the Floral Impressions DSP. And the fresh pressed flower motifs, these are my little doodads. And again, I use the beach time saying. See, look at that. I love sunshine. How cute is that? And here's where I just stuck these straight down. So these were 4 inches and I just stuck them down and I cut it right here. Okay, and then I just stamped some of those little flowers inside. And this last one, okay, this was the first one I made, and I'll be honest with you, I don't love this. There you go, I said it, and I said it out loud. But this one, I used the Crisp Cantaloupe Painted Patterns paper, and it's not the paper, I just couldn't find a flower up here that I really liked and that I had that was current, so, because I don't have a lot of current flower stamps right now. And I used the Happy Hibiscus stamp set, and then again I use that beach time. So anyway, so that's how you make the flip-flop cards. So don't throw away your cardboard from your Heidi socks, you guys, because you can make stuff out of them. That's why I don't throw stuff away. You'd be surprised about the stuff that's in my closet. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. I will see you next week for another episode of Technique Tuesday, and go ahead and look for that attachment for the PDF to make your own flip-flops. Okay, guys, thanks. Okay, see ya. Bye.